Hi guys, another card trick for you. Deck of cards, 52 cards. You get someone to help you. You can give them a shuffle if you so wish, don't have to. And you can show them as well, but I'm pretty sure people know that you wouldn't cheat them for the world, would you? But there's 52 playing cards. You talk about the vibe. Vibe is something that we all have. Now most people think the vibe is to do with music. It's not, it's to do with us. How we feel, our empathy with playing cards. And you want to demonstrate this as to what you mean by the vibe of somebody. We got loads of cards here. We're not going to use the whole deck because it would just take too long for you to make a choice. So let's just take a few cards from there. We don't need those. Ask the spectator to shuffle these up. They can mix these cards up and ask them to spread them casually over the table. Now at this point you could walk out the room, turn your back, it doesn't really matter, to prove that you don't know what cards they've got and which two they're going to choose. But you ask them to pick two random cards. They pick out two cards. The rest of the cards you can eliminate. You ask them to look at those two cards and remember the two playing cards that they freely chose, which they do. I'll show the camera. But before you lose those in the pack, what I'd like you to do is to tell me what the value of the two cards are in total. Remember, if you've got a Jack, Queen or King, that's 11, 12 and 13. So just tell me what is the value of those two cards added up. Not the colours, the suits or anything like that, just the value. And they'll say it's 11. The cards can be lost. They will take the cards and shuffle them. Get them to mix them up. Turn them face up and spread them, because I'm going to feel the vibe that I'm getting from you. You probably don't realise, but you're sending out vibes, the signal of what's in your head. Concentrate on your two playing cards that you've got. Now what I'm going to do is remove some cards that I'm getting a vibe from. I'm getting nothing there. Nothing there. I'm getting a vibe, nothing from these. Nothing there. Or there. But I'm getting a vibe from two cards. For the first time, tell me, out of the 52 playing cards, which two cards did you choose? The 8 of clubs and the 3 of spades. And there you have the perfect vibe. This particular trick is very easy to do, and regular viewers to this channel will know that I do love simplicity. The easier the trick is to do, the more performance you can put in. So all this thing about the vibe is a load of old rubbish, and the spreading of the deck and pushing it dramatically away was just for performance only. This is how it works. You could probably already guess that the 6 cards that we took off the top of the deck are a stack. So they are particular cards, and let me show you what cards they are to begin with. We have the 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 and King. You'll notice also I've got the chased order here. Clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds, clubs, hearts. That's purely for me to remember which is which, but you don't have to if you've got a good memory. As long as the values are there, that's what you're concerned with, is the values. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 and 13. That's it. Now if ever you forget this, and maybe you're doing this impromptu and someone gives you a deck of cards to set this up, if you just remember this simple sequence. There's 1. There's 2. If you add both of those together, it gives you 3. If you add these two together, it gives you a 5. And if you add these two together, it gives you an 8. And if you add these two together, it gives you 13. So it's a good way of remembering the sequence. Now, the reason these numbers are used is because they will reveal the two cards that have been chosen. Once you've got these, you deal them on the table. They can shuffle them, mix them up, and they can choose any two cards. Now let's say, for example, that they choose maybe the 8 and the 2. So they choose those 2 cards. They will tell you the value. Okay, so the value. So they will say, I've got 10 as a value. As soon as they give you that number, what you do in your head, you know the sequence. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 and 13. What you're looking for is the next lowest value below 10 in your sequence. Well, the next lowest value is 8. That tells you that that is one of the cards, which in our case is that one. You then have to decide which of the other cards do you need to make up 10. And this is the great thing about this. There's only one card that can make up 10, and that's 2. So now you know that they've got an 8 and a 2. And of course, if you've got the chased order, you'll know that it's the 2 of hearts and the 8 of clubs. How you reveal it is up to you. But let me just give you another example. Let's say that the 2 cards they chose were these 2 cards. So they will tell you that they've got 5, okay, as a value. Again, in your sequence of numbers, you look for the next lowest number below 5. It's always the next lowest one. In our sequence, it's going to be a 3. So straight away, that tells me that one of their cards is a 3. And because they gave me a total of 5, which of the other cards do I need to make up 5? Well, there's only one, and that's this one. So I know they've taken a 3 and a 2. Have a play around with it yourself. I think you'll have a lot of fun with this. It is pretty straightforward, and I'm sure you can dress it up and do some sort of other performance other than my vibe performance. Practice and enjoy.